Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. Sri Lanka takes a leap towards balancing environmental conservation and economic prosperity. EDB guides local businesses to be more competitive globally. News in detail. Government, in partnership with a multitude of stakeholders, launched the Sri Lanka 30 by 30 Conservation and Prosperity for Nature and People initiative in Colombo recently. The launch event saw the participation of over 95 government entities, local and international non-governmental organizations and corporates, all unified in their support for this crucial initiative. As part of the Sri Lanka 30 by 30 initiative, the government has identified 9 national priority conservation programs. These include improving the protection and connectivity of wet zone ecosystems, halting forest loss in the dry zone, restoring degraded forest and mangrove habitats, and enhancing protected area tourism to fund conservation efforts. Other key areas of focus include improving human-elephant coexistoms, enhancing the health and productivity of river systems, starting with the Kallang River basin, and strengthening sustainable fishery management practices to ensure the sustainable use of fish stocks. This initiative seeks to attract over $1.5 billion in investments between 2025 and 2030, marking a significant commitment to sustainable development and green economic revival. The initiative is coordinated by the Presidential Secretariat Climate Change Office along with the Department of Wildlife Conservation, the Forest Department and the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources.
Sri Lanka's dedication to nature conservation and sustainable development is unwavering. We have embraced the 3030 program, a global initiative aimed at protecting 30% of the world's lands and oceans by 2030. Some of the initiatives are already underway. The mangrove development program has been featured internationally as well as a very successful program.
Speaking at the event, advisor at the Climate Change Office of the Presidential Secretariat, Dr. Ananda Malvatantri, said that a major weakness identified in Sri Lanka's tourism sector is the inability to provide a good quality service due to the unsustainable use of natural resources. He attributed the lack of funds and knowledge to this being prevalent in the country's tourism sector.
We are into natural capital management, we are into natural capital accounting, we are into management reporting. So we are doing this system establishment and get the academia, corporate sector, non-government, government, international agencies all come and work with us. We can use the biodiversity conservation as a critical part of our green economy. Whether we do agriculture transformation, energy transition, or water management, health, climate management, and all that, the core is on the ecosystem. So pretty much what we are trying to do is this: use the biodiversity in a sustainable way to do better tourism. This is a big Achilles heel we have in our tourism. We cannot provide the good quality services and the guidance because we don't manage the resources in a sustainable way. So what we want to do is, through this project, to transform the whole tourism income and expenditure modality. That might even include working on different kind of fund managements.
The Sri Lanka Export Development Board, in collaboration with Sampath Bank, has initiated a series of awareness programs aimed at enhancing the digital presence of export-oriented SMEs across the country. These efforts are part of a broader strategy to boost the global competitiveness of local businesses. The first 2 programs in this series were successfully conducted in Kandy and Kurunegala, targeting export potential entrepreneurs registered under the EDB's new Export Development Program. The programs featured a combination of theoretical and practical sessions led by EDB officers and industry experts, allowing participants to develop their digital skills and competencies. During the sessions, Director of the Regional Development Division at EDB, Sepalika Jayawardena, emphasized the importance of digital presence for exporters. The EDB plans to extend these awareness programs to the northern, southern and eastern provinces, where many SMEs are already being developed for the international market under the new Export Development Program. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Executive Director of the Transparency International Sri Lanka, Nadishani Pereira, announced that the organization will deploy ground-level operatives to monitor and report the ongoing breaches of election rules during the election period. She said that once confirmed, the relevant information will be posted online for public viewing and forwarded to the Election Commission to be subjected to legal proceedings. The Executive Director said this speaking at a press conference held in Colombo on Monday.
Transparency International Sri Lanka this year also, like we have done in the past, have started our election observation work with a focus on misuse of public resources. So we have engaged ground level observers covering all the electorates as well as the overseeing district observers, so 200 of them. And they are supposed to do on-site monitoring of these abuses and then collect the data, and they will be using an app and they will be sending this verified data with evidence to the National Secretariat that we have in our office, and from here we will then do further verification, and thereafter when we have proved that abuse of state resources has happened, we will upload or update such information to our website. You may know sometime back TRSA launched a website called apesali.lk. After all, this is all apesali or our money that we are monitoring. There, if you go to apesali.lk, there is a separate page that you can choose for election observation. So the information will be uploaded and you can see the different types of abuses that have happened. And in addition, we'll be forwarding such complaints to the Election Commission that is empowered by the Constitution to take preventive action.
Speaking further at the press conference, Nadishani Pereira said that the continuous abuse of state resources by politicians and public officials has deprived the general public from having access to those resources. She cautioned officials and people in power to refrain from such abuses, noting that legal action will be taken against them.
Misuse or abuse of public resources is a major form of corruption that has anyway engulfed this country, not just during elections but throughout. It is a way that the country will lose a lot of its resources. What results in citizens not having access to the resources that they should have. Now, when we talk about misuse of public resources during election, we are referring to the actions of public officials who are the stewards, who are the trustees of public resources in any country. They are the ones who are entrusted with power over the resources that belong to all citizens. These our resources in Sri Lanka, from public finance to natural resources to all state properties, belongs to us and to our children. And we have entrusted this task of protecting these and taking right decisions about this to our public representatives who delegate that work to the public officials. And like this has been recently even reiterated by the Supreme Court, the officials in the country have a sacred duty to protect that public trust that is entrusted in them in terms of resources. None of the state resources can be used for personal enrichment. It has to be only be used for the service of the people.
The 29th Annual General Meeting of the Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce was held in Colombo recently. Senior Manager of Commercial and Marketing at South Asia Gateway Terminals, Udara Kumarthunga, was re-elected as President of the Council for the 2024 to 2025 term. During the meeting, Kumarthunga outlined her vision, which includes establishing a strong platform for new business ventures, encouraging trade delegations and fostering closer cooperation with trade missions. Kumarthunga emphasized the strategic importance of collaboration across various sectors such as trade, services, tourism, education and agriculture. She expressed commitment to strengthening existing connections while expanding trade engagements and industry ties between Sri Lanka, Australia and New Zealand. The Vice Presidents elected for the same period includes Chandan Amardasu, K.M. Hamis, Lionel D.C. Silva and Jayanti Dharmasena, with Ruwan Rajpaksha continuing to serve as the immediate past President. Stay tuned for stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today.
The All Share Price Index gained 66.30 points to close at 11,413.71, and the S&P SL 20 gained 34.13 points to close at 3,278.74. The turnover was 1.3 billion rupees and over 31 million shares were traded.
Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.